Good evening viewers. Today we are going to see about live wire detector. So the idea is generally in concealed wiring, in house wiring system, the wires are hidden behind the wall roofs like that. So this circuit will work only when a particular line, particular wiring as the switch is made on, that is current is passing. So you will be having say a bulb. So a 230 volts supply is given to the bulb, of course on and so you must close the circuit. So the concealed wiring, in that concealed wiring, current should flow through the circuit. So if the current flows, then it sets up a magnetic field. Of course it is not radiative because it is 50 hertz. So it has a 50 hertz variation in the magnetic field. The magnetic field variations will be 50 hertz. So keeping in that concept in mind. So first condition is the line should be active. If I say active, it means the current is passing and particular load, say a lamp or a fan, is glowing in that particular concealed wiring system. So what is the magnetic field, fluctuating magnetic field it is going to create, because whenever current passes through a wire there is a magnetic field, and that magnetic field variations is 50 hertz in India, because the magnetic field expands and contracts, uh, that period is 50 hertz. Okay. So what happens is, this end, usually this is a coil, this is an antenna. So a coil. So this coil end is allowed to move very close to the wall, or it can even touch the wall, nothing wrong in it, because the concealed wiring, in the concealed wiring, the magnetic field comes out of the wall, because magnetic field can penetrate insulators. It is get arrested only in the conductors. So magnetic field will emerge out of the wall, but the intensity will not be very big, because say a 5 amps load, it is not the strength of the magnetic field is not very big or huge. Okay. So when this antenna is placed close to the wall, the magnetic field, the varying magnetic field, 50 hertz varying magnetic field strikes this antenna, that is this coil. So and voltage is induced in the coil. So you have, that means uh, current is passing through the wire. It is setting up a magnetic field with 50 hertz variation, and when our coil, our live wire detector circuit coil is placed close to the concealed wiring, the magnetic field cuts the conductor, this conductor. Therefore, an EMF is induced in that conductor. So because of that, an voltage is induced in the coil that will drive this BC547. So this if you closely see, it is the Darlington connection. So the signal is given here. If from emitter, it is drives the another transistor, or in this place you can replace with a Darlington transistor. A Darlington transistor, the gain will be beta 1 into beta 2, that is beta square, if it is going to be identical. So it gives a very huge gain and drives the third transistor. So just all the transistors are BC547C. B means made up of silicon and C is for low frequency, because we are dealing with 50 hertz variation. So when the wire is carrying a current, so it drives the base, first transistor 1, then to transistor 2, and finally to transistor 3. So this transistor will go into conduction. Therefore this is a buzzer. So buzzer will sound. That indicates, this is audio information, sound information, this is visual information, we are using LED. So and your 220 ohms is connected in series to drive the LED. The overall circuit works with a 9 volts DC supply. So that's the indication. Suppose when you switch off the system, then the system will not work because there is no current in the concealed wire, therefore there is no magnetic field. So without magnetic field, this cannot work. So the first and foremost important point is, in a concealed wiring system there should be a current, therefore there is a magnetic field. That so when our coil goes very close to that, an EMF is induced in our antenna coil, and that drives these three transistors. So when the transistor goes into conduction, the LED is on and also the buzzer sounds. So this is the basic concept. Suppose there is no power supply at all. So in that case, what we have to do is, we have to inject say high frequency wave. That means in the suppose one end we know, there you insert, you induce, uh, it can be 50 hertz power line also, but don't use DC. Okay, alternating field will give you better results. So you input a high frequency sinusoidal signal, say 1 kilohertz, 1 megahertz, like that. So that frequency will travel through the concealed line. So in that case, what you have to do is, here an high frequency voltage will be all along the concealed wire. So that wire will act as an antenna and it starts radiating. So anything about audio frequency range, it goes into RF range and start radiating. So those radiation, when you place this coil very close to it, it is EMF is mutual induction takes place between the two coils, and also it is radiating the energy. So therefore the electromagnetic waves gets induced in the coil, and that drives these transistor, and once again this LED and buzzer will indicate that there is a line in the concealed wiring system. We can easily trace the path. So these are the two methods. So when you have power supply, there is no need to input some high frequency waves or low frequency waves into the wiring system. But when there is no power, then you have to give an input to the concealed wiring system, thereby it will act as an antenna radiating some frequency, say 1 megahertz, like that. So those radiations can be picked up by this coil, and we can see the how the wiring is being done in a particular house or a company, like that. So that's all about the basic concept of live wire detector. But I have discussed whether the voltage is present or not present and what should be done. Hope you have understood this concept on live wire detector circuit. Thanks for watching this video. Nandri.